Spectre. What were you thinking? Now, let's just recap on the movies Daniel Craig has been in for the 007 series. He's been in Casino Royale, which was pretty good. Quantum of Solace, which was absolutely he's also been in Skyfall, which was by far, in my opinion, the best Bond film ever. And then we have Spectre, his last starring 007 role, which was appalling. Yeah, you've had the world record for explosions in a movie, and it was my teacher's niece or something doing it, but no, it wasn't a great movie. And here are some reasons why it wasn't. And for 1 second, if you did like this movie, and you even think about commenting a negative comment, just don't. Okay? I've had enough. This movie, in my opinion, I absolutely hated. And if you ask many other people, they'll all agree with me. And if you look at the ratings, they'll all agree with me. So if you did like this movie, that's fine. It's your opinion. I don't want to know. So, back into all of the negatives about this movie, and believe me, there were many. Okay, let's just start off by talking about the villain and the organisation that call themselves Spectre. Yes, Spectre, that's the name, obviously. It's the one going around. But never mind, they call themselves Spectre. So that's the name of the film, which is fine, we get that. Skyfall is the name of James Bond's house as well. But the thing with Skyfall that's different about Spectre is that in the first 20 minutes they explained what Skyfall was, that was his house. Spectre, we don't hear the word until the first, hour and 10 minutes into the movie. And that's the first time we see the villain. Out of all the movie, you didn't really see the villain that much. He wasn't believable. I mean, the actor's quite good normally. In the trailers for it and stuff like that, he's been in a Clash of the Clans ad. It looked like he could really play the bad guy, but I didn't believe him. The first hour, you saw a little bit of his head, and he's like, "Hello, James." It's just not believable. Okay, let's go on to the car chases. There's me going into the cinema thinking, right, we've got James Bond, there's going to be a load of car scenes, few sex scenes and Bond girls, and some really, really good fight scenes. The car scenes, yes, it had a really nice Aston Martin in it, and a Jag, but the car scene wasn't great. Yeah, you had them going up on the banister, but it's just like, yeah. It's not much that better, really. I think actually it's quite amazing. Mission Impossible 4 had better car scenes than that James Bond movie. Even the scene, which in the trailer I thought was going to be one of the really good aspects of the movie, where James Bond is flying a plane through the trees onto the road, and there's a car going up the other side, and it looks like they're about to crash. The scene was ruined. I don't know how they did it. It could have been really good, but it just didn't work. There's been a few movies where there's a plane like going down the hill with snow and there's trees and stuff around it. For instance, you've got Cliffhanger. There's a scene of that happening where the plane crash lands. And there's also the recent Fast and Furious 7. There was the same sort of scene, but it was in a car instead of a plane. But it's been done, and I thought James Bond was going to do it amazingly, but no, it didn't work. Let's go on to the Bond girls. The Bond girl wasn't... Now, this is going to sound really weird. It wasn't a Bond girl you'd want. Her acting wasn't amazing. Her link with the story didn't really go anywhere. Yeah, she was the daughter of the bad guy from the previous movie. But there wasn't much link. There's a few scenes that were kind of done alright. For instance, the scene where the dad of the Bond girl commits suicide, like he gets given the gun and like shoots it in the face. It's a bit gruesome, but that was one of the only good scenes in the film. The fight scenes weren't amazing. You were expecting some sort of fight between the leader sort of figure of Spectre and James Bond. There was none of that. He planted traps for James Bond, and even the traps weren't amazing. Like, he got trapped in a box. It's like, where are you going with this? It's not James Bond. He should be punching and hitting people. And there was another scene where like a big henchman sort of guy gouged someone's eye out. That was just gruesome. It didn't need to be in the film. You're saying he's got a load of power. I wanted to see him later on fighting James Bond, but that never happened in the film. Why not? Why couldn't he just done something right? I want to find the director of this movie and just slap him and say, "What were you doing? It was meant to be a send-off of Daniel Craig. You should have done it really well." Okay, let's rewind all the way to the start of the film, when you're in Mexico with James Bond. He was pointing a gun at an apartment building, and he shoots it, and the building blows up, and it all falls down and almost kills James Bond. What I want to know is, why the hell did it blow up? It didn't tell you. He just shot at a building and it blew up with one bullet, and it almost killed him. Why would he shoot a building, blow it up, and risk his life? There was one scene I quite enjoyed some of it, but there were still major aspects which could have been vastly improved. It was the helicopter scene in Mexico, when he's in the helicopter doing a fight and like kicking him out the doors and all sorts, and then the pilot dies, and obviously the helicopter's spinning and spinning and spinning, and then like I can't remember, does it crash? It doesn't crash in the end. He flies off to the distance, but it's just like a 5-10 minute scene of him killing people in a helicopter and it slowly falling towards the ground and chaos on the floor, because obviously it's like the Festival of Death. But it wasn't. It could have been speeded up a bit. It's meant to be the quick intro, like in Casino Royale. There was a really quick intro where he's like gone to kill someone, and he's got the gun. It's the second time he's killed someone. There's a little pre-story of him killing the first person, and then he just kills the second person like that. Intro done in 2.5 minutes. That's all you need to do. Not like a 20-minute build-up. It's for not a good movie. So, wasn't a great movie at all. One of the worst films of 2015. There you go. I'm not going to do a worst list of 2015 like most reviewers, but that would be on there if I did. Along with Pixels and other terrible films. The 3 things they had to put in the movie, they failed at. 1, girls and at least 1 or 2 sex scenes. Sex scenes, I think there was kind of 1, but yeah, I'm not even going to judge that. And there was only 1 girl, and that was sort of a stick with girl. Almost like Casino Royale, but there was like relating to that a lot. There was a lot of ties with the old movies, because obviously they were trying to finalise all the James Bonds from Daniel Craig. And again, that was done really horribly. I got really confused through all the pictures and all sorts. If you've seen the movie, you'll probably understand what I'm saying. Step 2, there were meant to be really awesome car chases. Nope, that wasn't covered at all. And finally, fight scenes. Yeah, there was definitely low. Oh, wait, no, there wasn't. That was every single other James Bond movie that was any good. So yeah, who directed this movie? I don't know. Featuring... Okay, directed by... Yeah, Sam Meds. Yeah, just... No, I think you should just go, never ever do a James Bond movie again in your life. Did a really bad job, and I'm really disappointed with this movie. Thank you for watching. Again, if you did like Spectre, I don't want to know. If you didn't like Spectre, please comment. I welcome your lovely, lovely comments. Please like the video and subscribe. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.